Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Wanted to pop in real quick before I get my workout in. You know, it's one thing that I realized, and this may be the reason I don't ever shoot another video again. But the key or the secret to attracting real love is becoming your best self. And I know that sounds cliche, but we don't really think about it. We don't really think about the fact that if you truly work on yourself, in my book, Mrs. Right, I think I talk about the three B's: brain, brand, and body. And what I'm talking about is if you focus on those key areas, feeding your mind, learning, growing, you're reading books, you're going to seminars, you're doing coaching or counseling or therapy, you're working on yourself, personal development. That's the brain. Your brand, you are pursuing your career, you're growing in your career, or you're starting your own company, you're building your own brand, you're creating something that you can't be fired from. And then the body, you're eating right, you're sleeping right, you're working out, you focus on every aspect of your life. You know, some people say, well, what about faith? That comes with the brain. You're reading your Bible, you're studying, you're feeding your spirit. So you can really break down your growth, your personal development into a few different areas, whatever you want to call it: mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul. I call it the three B's: brain, brand, and body. But if you do that, what happens is you elevate to a new level. And as you elevate, there's other people that are doing the same work. So you attract what you become. You attract what you are, not what you want. So a lot of times women say, hey, Tony, why am I not attracting the right man? And men say, why can't I find the right woman? It's because you haven't become what you want. So you say you know what you want and you think about what you want, but you're not doing the work to become the equivalent. Or you say, oh, I'm the equivalent of what I want. No, because you don't understand perception. So you have to understand, what does that look like to the opposite sex? So if I want this type of woman and I can list out the type of woman that I want, well, I need to understand a woman's perception of men to understand, what does the man look like that type of woman is attracted to. And if you're a woman and you say, well, look, I want my man to be this. Well, what you have to understand is, what does the woman look like that type of man is attracted to? Now, the next part of this is you gotta be ready for the answer. That's one thing that we don't wanna hear, is the answer, because that answer may be tough. That answer may be the opposite of what you are right now. That answer may require that you sacrifice, that you change your lifestyle, that you change your mindset, that you change some of the things that make you comfortable, and that you get out of that comfort zone and you get into an effective zone, and you force your comfort zone to catch up to you. And so when that is the answer, when that's the result, a lot of times we don't want to hear that. So what you have to do is, you got to go to those places. You know, this may be one of those places where you hear a different perspective, where you get to understand perception from an honest man's perspective, meaning I'm married and I'm 100% faithful to my wife. And I'm ambitious, and yes, I have some success, and you know, I've reached a point in my life where I speak from is totally different than where what I call a grown boy speaks from. Me and a grown boy don't see the world the same. So you got to ask yourself, am I trying to attract a grown boy, which means an adult male who is still immature and irresponsible? Or am I trying to attract a grown man, which means an adult male who is mature, responsible, holding himself accountable, ambitious, driven, and centered in his faith and his belief system? So you got to ask yourself, what are you trying to attract? And then when you identify what you're trying to attract, then from there, you can then take and say, okay, well, this is who I need to be listening to. I need to be listening to these type of men. Those type of men may be your pastor, could be your father, could be your brother, could be, someone on YouTube or Instagram like myself. You have to identify that. The same thing goes for men. You got to figure out, what does the type of woman I'm looking for look like, and where can I get to understand her mentality, that type of mindset? And what one mistake that a lot of women make in this is thinking that all men are different. And that's just simply not true. I'm telling you as a man, this coming from the horse's mouth, it's just not true. All men may seem different to you because every man that you've dealt with is different, but you can put those men in two categories: grown men and grown boys. If you really break it down, there's two type of men: a grown man and a grown boy. That's it. That's it. One is mature and responsible. One is immature and irresponsible. Point blank, period. Is nothing else need to be said. And so when you understand that, then you start to realize, because a lot of times when I'm speaking from a real man all the time. I'm speaking from a real man's perspective, from a grown man's perspective, from a mature and responsible man's perspective. And women will say, oh, that's just him. That's just one man. He's just one man. No. I done been out here as a grown man for a couple decades now. And one thing that I realize, that I see, is that every grown man, we all think the same. We want the same type of woman. The woman that I've been married to for 12 years is the type of woman that every grown man wants. We all want the same type of woman. And so when I'm speaking, that speaks for the collective. When you see, that's why you don't honestly see a lot of women say, well, why don't I see a lot of men in the comments? That's because men know that I'm telling the truth. So the only men you're going to see in my comments is typically grown boys. Because a lot of men don't like to say, hey, keep going, bro. Yeah, you telling the truth, keep going. Hey, keep sharing that truth. No, a lot of men don't like to pat on the back and give praise and all that. So typically what you're going to see is a grown boy saying, well, I don't agree with that because it's this, and this, and this, and this. And I guarantee you click on that man page, you go to his profile, you look at him, you study him for a little bit, you'll see he's a grown boy. Because I've never had a man look me in my eyes, one-on-one, in person, and say, Tony, you lying. Tony, what you saying is not true. Never, ever. I've never had it, I never will, because the truth does not change. And so I already understand that. Man, so what you ladies have to understand when you're listening to what I'm telling you is that if you focus on you, and you work on you, so get the knowledge that you need to get. Listen to all the videos, read all the books, go to all the seminars, get all the knowledge that you feel that you need, and then implement and do the work. So build your brand, build your name, build your career, pursue your passions, build something, create something that you cannot be fired from. It's cool if you got a career. It's cool if you got a corporate job, but create something that you cannot be fired from. That can be as simply as a blog. That can be as simple as a blog. And then work on your body. So, and when you're working on your body, work on everything of yourself aesthetically. So present yourself to the world as a queen. A queen don't come in disheveled, hair messed up, skin bad, body not being taken care of. You have to work on you. And if you get offended about being held accountable to work on you, then you can't expect to attract someone worth anything into your life, because that type of person is working on themselves. If they're worth anything, they're working on themselves. And so if they're worth their weight in gold, if they're really ready, they're working on themselves. So you have to work on you. So understand what I'm trying to tell you here. I know this ain't easy always to hear, but if you just dedicate to doing the work, before you know it, you will attract the person that you desire. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll talk soon.